Fortune.
Coming up in part 3 of Neil Franklin, Fame and Fortune.
We take 20 to 25% roughly of the charge rate. What we've done this year is restructure the whole operation. The office is just crazy. We've outgrown it already.
Neil Franklin has made £102 million out of the telecoms boom. 8 years ago, he started a specialist recruitment agency for skilled telecom staff. Data Workforce is now one of the UK's fastest growing companies. Not bad for a man who started out as a kitchen salesman.
Tell me how Data Workforce make their money then.
What we will do is we will charge the company one price. So Ericsson will get charged 100, for example, of whatever currency. We'll pay the guy 20 and we'll pay the guy 80 and take 20. I nearly got it wrong there. So we take 20 to 25% roughly of the charge rate.
How much does Data Workforce turn over a year?
This year we've completed about 39 odd million in turnover of sales, and that started from 1994-95 when it was limited. We did 100,000, so the growth has been significant. So that's the turnover right now. What we've done this year is restructure the whole operation. We've just gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. Every single system has been overhauled. We've got an office in Dallas now that's been opened, which has taken an awful lot of management time. And that's just about right now. So this is the restructuring year. And from then on, it's just a question of just keep building.
Why the office in Dallas then?
Well, again, Dallas wasn't the choice. We like to follow our clients very closely and work out what they're doing. We knew that America had the sort of IT Silicon Valley type thing over in San Francisco way. They were building a telecoms one in Richardson in Texas, which is Dallas. All of a sudden, we start to get requirements from Dallas. Looking at the laws in America, you need to be a local company to payroll your staff. You need also to have visas to get the non-Americans working in the country. That had to be done from a local basis. All of a sudden, I've got 2 of my best guys in here, called them in and said, how do you fancy Dallas? I said, fine, what, you send me for a week, 2 weeks? And I said, working there for good. So I had to go for the good bit first and get them committed to spend the rest of their lives there, then tell them it was only for 2 years. So consequently they left, and they've just literally gone over there beginning of this year in February, and the office is just crazy. We've outgrown it already in 5 months.
What about Singapore? Weren't you supposed to be expanding over there and setting up another office out there?
Singapore is more of an administration office because there are specific regulations you have to follow for work permits and visas. So you need again to have a local company. And we've done the same in Switzerland, and we will do the same hopefully in Spain. So anywhere where there's a problem of obtaining work permits for non-nationals of either Europe or that particular country, then we look to set up a local presence.
What kind of cost are we talking about to open an office abroad?
It costs you more. I mean, in physical terms, you can sit there and you can draw the most elaborate financial projections, which you can say, fine, yeah, that makes sense, because it's going to cost us X and we will invoice Y. Or we'll invest for this period, but what you don't realise is the cost in manpower and time. My time personally, I mean, I've spent probably 5 or 6 trips now to Dallas, which is an immense cost when you think of it, because you've got to weigh up what that person could be doing. But of course we have to invest in our future, and we have to invest for the good of the company and the marketplace.
Did you ever imagine that Data Workforce would grow as quickly as it did and become as big as it has done?
Never. I suppose never is. The truth is, when I started off, I didn't know. I had visions of making it the best possible company in its field, without doubt. But I never stopped and thought, well, we could have this in this period of time or that. Because I never wrote business plans on the basis of what we could do tomorrow. What all the banks and institutions used to say to me were, if you want money, Neil, you have to write a business plan. I said, but writing a business plan is a bit like having a crystal ball. Now, I can have a crystal ball approach for one thing and one thing only. I know what I'm going to spend, because I know my lifestyle, I know what I need. In those days, it was minimal. So I can tell you what I'm going to spend. As to what I'm going to sell, I don't know. And of course, it just went crazy like this. So I never actually was consciously aware of what we could have turned over, or what we did, turn over this period of 6 years.
Coming up in part 4 of Neil Franklin, Fame and Fortune.
Make sure the marketplace you're going into is the right one for you. You usually recruit people for what they know, and you sack them for who they are. I don't reject people here for bad.